Hi everyone, me and Mr. Pirate are here today to talk to you about two of the easiest and most important ways for you to monitor your cat's health at home. This video is sponsored by a company called Spacekati, who make a really cool little enclosed litter box with built-in monitoring systems for your cat's weight and a way of tracking of what they do in the litter box and broadcasting it through an app to your phone. They have a super cute video that I'm going to throw in the links below that I suggest you watch because it's really adorable. Like, it's actually a really cute animation. So why don't you go ahead and click on that and watch, and Mr. Pirate will wait here and remind everybody else who isn't watching the video to squish that subscribe button and pet the bell notification icon and share and like this video and all that good stuff so that the good message can be propagated. All right, welcome back. So as you see, what Spacekati does is it keeps track of your cat's weight and it keeps track of your cat's elimination. And why is this so important? Well, I gotta say, monitoring body weight is by far the easiest and definitely one of the most important ways of monitoring a cat's health. And this isn't just because obesity is a problem. Yeah, we don't want cats to get too fat. You hear that, dude? Not too fat. You're perfect though. So obesity is obviously an issue you got to manage in any pet, but also just trends in weight over time is a really useful way to assess a cat's health and to detect health problems before they really get serious. Weight loss over time, so a downward trend in body weight, is something we really monitor for in the clinics. And everybody who's worked with me knows that probably the fastest way to ruin my day is to not put a body weight into the record when a pet visits us in the clinic. I absolutely insist on a body weight being recorded every single time an animal walks in the clinic, so it's in the record and we can monitor those trends because it is just so important. My staff who are watching this are going to kill themselves laughing because I really get upset if the body weight's missing. Now, of course, you can monitor body weight at home yourself. Usually the easiest way to do it is if you have a bathroom scale, is to weigh yourself with a cat in your hands, weigh without it, do some subtraction. Very few people do that without prompting. Now, I have had 2 clients in the last 12 years come to me with a spreadsheet of their cat's weekly weight over the past few months. But this is not a common occurrence, and they were both engineers. So I'm not counting on everyone doing this. However, again, this is why Spacekati is kind of cool, because it literally does this for you. The litter box has a scale built into it. So every time the cat walks in there, takes a weight, uploads it to the app, so you can actually monitor it, check for trends. And, a lot of old cat diseases, a lot of chronic illnesses present as gradual weight loss. It's also a good tool if you're actually trying to achieve healthy weight loss, because you can track it going down and then leveling off, hopefully. So body weight is a super important indicator. And what's more is when we're treating animals, like, 30% of cats will get kidney disease at some point in their life. So like when I'm treating for kidney disease, one of the main treatment targets is getting the cat to eat and then getting the cat to put on weight. Oh, where are you going? Relocating. Pirate's butt's all wet because he's been sitting in the bathtub drinking water out of the tap, because that's kind of his thing. So treatment targets. So it's just super useful to monitor body weight as a response for therapy when you're managing a health issue. And again, you can certainly do it as weigh-ins in the clinic, but it's really nice to be able to do it at home. Where are we going, Pirate? Where are we going? You got to work, bro. You got to work. You got to record a video. Yeah. Can't leave yet. Keeping a track of what cats do in the litter box is also very important. The basic questions I ask on admission, this is a part of a basic history for any pet visiting a vet clinic, is coughing, sneezing, vomiting, diarrhea, and then pooping and peeing. Is there diarrhea? Is there constipation? Has the urination frequency increased, or has the urination volume increased? This is absolutely most essential basic history without which no veterinarian can actually do their job, because our patients cannot tell us how they're feeling. They can't tell us if it burns to pee and if they have to go to the litter box more often. And they're not going to report diarrhea, and they're definitely not going to tell us if they just feel like drinking a lot and like they're peeing a lot. Now, a lot of people often ask me, like, is my pet drinking enough? And they're worried about that. So that's one thing you never have to worry about. Your pet's always drinking enough. Water homeostasis is one of the most fundamental and well-developed homeostatic mechanisms in the body. None of us can live without adequate water, so not drinking enough is just not an issue that we see. However, drinking too much and peeing too much is a classic sign of disease. Kidney disease, diabetes, bunch of other stuff, all shows up as drinking more and peeing more. So knowing if your cat's suddenly producing little lakes in the litter box, or peeing more frequently, or producing a larger weight of urine is really, really important. And so again, this is something where the Spacekati thing is pretty cool, because it actually tells you how much and how often your pet makes a deposit in the litter box, which is really, really important. And unfortunately, quite often when I ask my clients, particularly in a multi-cat household, are we seeing any diarrhea? Are we pooping every day? Are we peeing and drinking more? It can be really hard to tell, right? Because I can tell my cats by their poops, but not everybody can, and it's not always that clear. But for example, if you have a vomiting cat, one of the most common reasons why we see a vomiting cat is because of constipation. Because cats are weird, and they have stretch receptors in their colon that are linked to the vomit receptors in their brain. A tiny little organ up here. So they, when they're constipated, they get nauseous. One of the first things you look at in a vomiting cat. Weird, right? But if you know that your cat hasn't pooped in 3 days and it's vomiting, well, you just saved yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of diagnostics trying to figure out why your cat has a vomiting disorder. So they're constipated. So really important thing to track. And again, this is something that can be used for healthcare monitoring as well. Hey, little dude, bro. Do you need to go to the litter box or to your food dish? It's probably food dish. It's breakfast time, isn't it? So I hope this gives you a little bit of an insight into why it is so important to monitor both body weight and what happens in the litter box. Again, absolutely essential basic medical history. So I'm just going to mention a few features of the Spacekati that I think makes it a particularly cool litter box and a great tool for monitoring these things at home. So first of all, it's a scale. So it weighs your cat every time they go into a litter box. Fantastic. Maps it to an app. You know exactly where cat's weight's doing. If your cat's weight is trending downward over a couple weeks and you haven't changed anything the way they're eating, well, heck, it looks like it's time for a vet visit, because that's something you definitely want to investigate. It also has a way of identifying cats in a multi-cat household. Again, being able to tell which cat is in the litter box at any given time would be super useful. The other thing I kind of want to mention about it is, in general terms, I actually am not a big fan of covered litter boxes because, okay, Mr. Pirate has places to be. All right, dude, off you go. Hello? Hello? No cat-assing the camera. No cat-assing the camera. There we go. Come here. Aha! Mr. Pirate's stand-in for the rest of this video will be Claudette. I told you not to cat-ass the camera. Okay. So I'm often not a big fan of covered litter boxes, mostly because they kind of turn into foul-smelling gateways to Hades, from which you can actually hear the smell because people don't clean them very often. So that's one advantage of a litter box that tells you every time it's used, is that you can actually go and clean it, because you should be cleaning a litter box every time a deposit in it is made, not only for monitoring purposes, so you can see if there's diarrhea or if there's abnormal amount of urination, but also just for cleanliness purposes, because it's really important for a cat to have a nice, clean, nice smelling litter box. The other thing is ventilation, and again, the Spacekati actually has a little fan that ventilates the litter box with a odor absorbing layer, which I think is a really neat idea. So there's that problem fixed. So you know that it's been used, it's well ventilated, and then you can go and clean it, which will make your little cat friend very happy and reduce their stress levels. And I'm going to talk a bit more about this in the litter box video that I'm planning to make. But of course, one of the advantages of litter boxes is that they do slightly reduce the amount of litter sprayed around, because as we all know, there's certain cats that take going to the litter box as an opportunity to have a digging contest and maybe some sort of a dirt rally, and maybe just skip around sprinkling cat litter all over the place. So it certainly does reduce the mess, but not at the cost of cleanliness and ventilation and, shall we say, elimination monitoring, cat byproduct monitoring, keeping an eye on the poops and the pees. Another reason that it's really important to monitor your litter box is because one of the most common feline health problems is feline idiopathic cystitis, and I have a whole video on this that I'm going to throw a link down in the descriptions below. But it's characterized by more frequent trips to the litter box. So if a cat's going in and out of the litter box but not producing urine, or producing just tiny drops of urine, that is a huge red flag. That's a visit to the vet, and that's a visit to the vet right away. Don't wait to see if it gets better, because it won't. So don't be calling me on 6 p.m. on a Saturday evening saying, oh, my cat's been in and out of the litter box all day, can you help? The answer will be, no, because it's 6 p.m. on a Saturday evening. You should have come in at 9 a.m. when it started happening. But that is a super common cat health issue. And again, if you're seeing your cat going in and out of the litter box 7 times in a morning and nothing's being produced, well, you might want to check that they're not constipated, or more importantly, that they don't have, it's called a blockage, although it's not really a blockage. I explained it all in the video, just go watch it. But obviously a super important health issue that can easily be detected by monitoring your cat's litter habits. And again, wouldn't it be cool if you just got an update on your phone every time your cat went to the bathroom instead of having to watch them? So to summarize the very important message of this video, squish your cats? No. It is very important to monitor your cat's body weight over time, and it's very important to monitor what your cat does in the litter box. And if it's outside of the norms, then you might want to have it checked out. And Spacekati is a great tool for doing that at home. Please go ahead and check out their Kickstarter and support them if you can. I think it's a great product that's going to really improve animal welfare and be a really cool tool for monitoring and improving cat health. And do keep an eye on the goings on in your cat's litter box. And don't forget to squish your cat just a little bit each day. Till next time.